Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I am your humble host, Jeff Trenopole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here from the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, I'm going to do a rundown of what topics I'll be talking about on today's show. Opening day is today. Well, it's supposed to be anyway. This is a citywide holiday for Cincinnati, but it's not happening today. We'll discuss that. And then we got Reds opening day highlights. Favorite memories of you, like opening day parade, games, whatever. And what is your favorite all-time Reds team? So yeah, a lot of Reds subjects today to talk about moving to the NFL draft and the Bengals sign another free agent. Okay. As I said, today was supposed to be opening day, which is, like I said, it's it's a citywide holiday, basically, here in Cincinnati. Kids get out of school, everybody goes down to parade, most people go to the game. But again, with the corona pandemic, it's not happening. But we still can celebrate what's supposed to be opening day by wearing your Reds gear today and taking a picture of it and posting on social media with the hashtag RedsCountry. See, I got mine. There you go. All right. Now, what's your favorite memory about Reds opening day? Is it the parade? Is it going to the game? Is it the parties afterwards? What is it? Well, mine, back in when I was in elementary school and middle school, back in the 80s and early 90s, high school in the 90s, early 90s. Anyway, my father decided to take me to opening day, and we got opening day tickets. We went down to the parade. Really cool because I got out of school. He took me out of school, went down, watched the parade. We did this for 5 straight years, and I always remember. See, because we wanted to watch the parade. So we go down by Finley Market and try to find a parking spot down there. It was so hard to try to find a parking spot. It seemed like I would get so irritated. I'm so excited. I'm a little kid. I'm like, it's opening day. It's parade. I want to get there. We can't find a daggone parking spot. So I remember that. I remember this one time. We were back. We found a parking spot. I'm like, all right, cool. So my dad pulls up. He's going to back in, and some jack wagon pulls right in. Right behind us and takes the parking spot. I'm like, what? Luckily, my dad is not much for confrontation, and he just pulled off. We found another parking spot. But now, for some reason, I remember that because I was so irritated because I wanted to get to the parade, and we couldn't find a daggone parking spot. So, that's kind of a frustrating memory. But I remember going there. It was cold. Most time it was cold. Sometimes it was warm. Most time it was a pretty cool day. And watching the parade, watching all ex-Reds players, find out who the parade patron was. It was a fun time. It was a great memory. And then you got to go to the game. And one game I will never forget. It might have been 85, 86. And every time we got Reds tickets, I don't know how people got the tickets lower. I mean, maybe because we're cheap and wanted to buy cheaper tickets. We actually sat, if you guys remember, back in Old Riverfront Stadium, it was a bowl because the Bengals played there too, but they had the big Jumbotron up in center field. My dad got tickets behind that. Now, the way the seats are angled, we could see the game, but it was so freaking cold. It snowed. I mean, you had the openings in the very, very top of the stadium because you had the awning that went there, then you had the openings, and the wind was whipping through there, and me and my dad are sitting there shivering and freezing. I don't remember if the Reds won or not, but I remember we didn't leave because back then, actually to this day, I don't leave games early. Pretty much no matter what. Maybe every once in a while I'll leave a game early, but if I could sit through that one, I could sit through any of them. Now, the other one I remember was probably the last one I went to. Now, this one was with my family. It was my wife, my son. I think my daughter was alive then. I'm not sure. My brother and his family, my sister, his family, my parents, we all went. I went out and camped out for the Reds opening day tickets and got them for us. And that was the year that George W. Bush was going to come and throw out the first pitch. Well, security was tight, so we had to stand in line, and again, it was freezing cold. And my family's complaining how cold it is, how long it's taking to get in, and I'm like, well, it is the president, and it is opening day, and it's cold. Like I said, I sat through a snowstorm, 1985 or 86, whenever it was, so I kind of knew what to expect. But I remember going there most of the time. The Reds won on opening day when I went there, especially the 5 years we went. We went from 1985, me and my dad, from 1985, I think, to 1990, which 1990 actually wasn't opening day because they had the lockout that year. So they call it the home opener, or home opening, or something like that. Anyway, we got tickets to that and got to go to that, so our streak continued. Our streak ended after they won the World Series in 1990, and everybody wanted to go, which I thought everybody wanted to go anyway, and we couldn't get tickets. So that ended our streak. We started it up again. We did it 91 to, like 96, I think. Actually, no, 96. I didn't go. I had moved to Florida by then, but my father had went, and that's when the umpire, I cannot remember his name, but he actually ended up dying on the field and had a heart attack. Anyway, most of these memories don't sound like they're very good, but that was not even my memory. That was one that I know my father was at. But it was just the memory of going there with my father, and a tradition that me and him shared and got to do was great. I mean, I got to get out of school, watch the parade, eat popcorn, hot dogs, drink pop. It was cool. And watch the Reds win most of the time. So those are fun. Fun times. And hopefully by May, we'll be enjoying baseball again. Hopefully. Okay, now the other one I have today, since there's going to be a lot of Reds topics today. Well, I'm trying to, because like I said, it's supposed to be opening day. Now, if you remember, back in the day, the Reds used to have the very first game. Like, nobody would start until after the Reds threw their first pitch. I don't know what year that stopped, but if anybody out there knows, message me down below and let me know, because I'm kind of curious when that stopped and why it stopped. Because they did that because the Reds, if you're a Reds fan, you know this, are the first Major League Baseball team ever, which I honestly think they might have been the first professional team ever. I don't know if hockey or football or anything else started before that, started paying players to play. So I'm kind of curious about that. Anyway, getting on to my next topic. Of all the great Reds teams that they've had over the years, what's your favorite? Mine, now I know a lot of people are going to say the Big Red Machine. Mine was the 1990 World Series champion Reds. I love that team. I was 15 years old. We went to, me and my dad would go buy top 60. We had this perfect plan. Now, the Bengals practice field is where we used to park. But we used to park underneath that bridge right there. There's the train bridge. We'd park there for free, and we'd walk from there through where the Bengals Stadium is now. It was all the flats. They had different business and stuff. We'd walk through there, and we'd go buy top 6 tickets. We'd have a bag of peanuts with us. We'd have a 2-liter of pop, and it cost us $3.50 a ticket. So, $6-7, and we'd go to a Reds game. It was awesome. So that year, we went to like 20-something games. I love that team. My favorite player of all time is Chris Sabo. He was on that team. They had the Nasty Boys. Hall of Famer Barry Larkin was on there. And Eric Davis had 2 of the most epic plays in Reds history. No, Eric Davis did not have a great year that year. But if he's not on that team, we don't win the World Series. I'll tell you why. Game 1, first inning. Boom! Home run off Dave Stewart. Set the tone for the entire World Series. It was over from then. Because back then, it was the big bad Oakland A's. They were going to their 3rd straight World Series. I know it's weird to hear that now because Oakland isn't a juggernaut like they were back then. But back then, they were. Like I said, this is their 3rd straight World Series. Only won one of them. And we were a huge underdog. Eric Davis jacked that home run to center field. I was going nuts. And then the other great play he made in the last game to sweep it, he made a diving catch in the left field where he jammed his elbow into his ribs and had a lacerated kidney and had to leave the game. But those are 2 iconic plays that I will always remember Eric Davis for. So 1990 it's a very special team for me. Another thing about that team, you can't talk about that team without talking about the 1990 Nasty Boys. Now, the Nasty Boys were 20 years ahead of their time. Because the way Lou Piniella used that bullpen is the way everybody does their bullpen now. You got to the 6th, 7th inning, it was over. We went to the Nasty Boys and the rest of the guys in the bullpen, and it was over. Like I said, that was in 1990. They're doing that now every day. So they're far ahead of their time as far as that goes. But you had 3 closers on that team who could blow smoke. It was so much fun. They come out of the bullpen. They had that attitude, that swagger. Not tonight, boys. It's done. It's over. And it was great. I loved it. And that team, they they would come back from anything. They would fight you tooth and nail. They'd fight you in the parking lot. They'd fight you in the clubhouse. They'd fight you on the field. Literally. Norm Charlton running over Mike Scioscia, a pitcher, to score 1 run against the Dodgers on Sunday Night Baseball. Now, that was when ESPN, that was the first year of ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. They played that over and over and over and over again. Norm Charlton blasted him. That was a great memory of that year. But to get it all started was the hiring of Lou Piniella. Now, I have to admit, like I said, I was only 15. I didn't really know who Lou Piniella was. I had heard the name before, but I really didn't know much about him. He's a Yankee, and I didn't know much about him. But in my book, he is the second best manager in Reds history. Number 1 is Sparky Anderson, of course. I wish Lou would have stayed here longer. Could have maybe won some more World Series, but that didn't work out. But Lou Piniella, I think he was exactly what that team needed. Because we came off the 1989 season where Pete Rose and his scandal and everything happened, and it was a terrible year because 4 years before that we finished second 4 years in a row, and then 89 we finished, I think, maybe last. I don't remember. Not a very good year. Lou Piniella comes in and changes the culture, basically tells them, you guys should win this. You guys should have already won this. You had enough talent to do it. And he put it to them. And he brought more intensity, I think, to that team than I had before. More accountability, more whatever. Because those guys took off and nobody caught them. It was great. Like I said, Chris Sabo was on that team. He had a great World Series. My opinion, he could have won the World Series MVP, but he didn't. Anyway, that's my favorite team of all time. What's yours? You can tweet it out to me or you can message me down below. By the way, I've really enjoyed all the messages and comments I've gotten, mostly down below there on the comment screen on the YouTube channel. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate all of you guys. All right. This show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. Like I said before, all their available properties are on the website. Go check them out if you're looking for a condo, house, or apartment. All right. Now, we had a lot of NFL news going on, especially since the Bengals have signed free agents, which has been shocking. This came out the other day that the NFL is talking about moving the NFL draft. Now, it's already not going to happen in Vegas, which is fine. But I don't understand the point to moving the draft. Before we had all this technology, they used a phone call. Hey, we're going to draft Joe Burrow. Click. And they told the commissioner. You can put it on TV. You can Facebook everybody from their each individual sites of where they're making the selection from. You can FaceTime Joe Burrow up in Athens, Ohio to see his reaction and interview him. We don't all have to be in the same area. So the logistics of doing the draft, I understand it's probably a little bit more difficult, but we need to be spread out. You can do that. It can still be on TV. It can still be something to watch. Trust me, sports guys like me will watch it because there's nothing else on. I don't care how you do it. I just want it done and I want it on TV. And people are saying, well, with Tua coming out, we really can't, evaluate how he is and we can't get our hands on him. Like, okay, that's life, dude, stuff happens. Sorry, you should have done your due diligence before this. You can't just change stuff because you weren't prepared for it. Hey, I'm not prepared. Most of these people out there are not prepared to not going to work for, a month or more, but it's happening. So for the NFL scouts and front office guys to say that they don't have enough time for this and it's not fair, go cry me a river. Life's not fair. Don't move the draft. Keep it where it is. Now, we're getting to the story I've been waiting to get to. I don't know who these guys are that are in the Bengals front office, but I am liking it. The Bengals have completely revamped their defense. Yesterday, they signed another defensive free agent in Von Bell. They signed him to a 3-year, $18 million contract. Bell is the third defensive back to join the team since the free agent period has opened last week. Now get this. Now again, we're talking about As Colin Cowherd says, the cheapest owner in the NFL, well, the cheapest owner in the NFL has spent $115 million in free agents this year, in 6 different free agents. All right, I have a quote from Bell about how he's feeling about being a Cincinnati Bengal. And here it is. He said, I guess they said enough is enough. I drew a line in the sand. They went and got some guys that could play the game and love the game. More from Bell. This creates a this part I like. This part kind of gives me chills. It creates a standard. It creates a culture. Guys that have been there in the atmosphere, and they want to bring that to Cincinnati, and he says that's what we plan to do. So to me, that is exactly what you want. You want a guy to come here and is going to change the culture, going to change the atmosphere, bring winning to Cincinnati, bring playoff winning football to Cincinnati. Most of these guys have won that we've got. Now, the Bell move appears that the Bengals will be playing more of a three safety look scheme. They showed this on a few occasions last year under defensive coordinator Lou Amaretto. Now that means safety Sean Williams will be playing, they quoted, little linebacker, which that solves, well, I don't say solves, but helps your linebacking problem. So we got a new safety, 2 new linebackers. I mean, Sean Williams is not new, but he's going to play linebacker now. 3 new cornerbacks. I mean, that secondary is totally redone. And the front four with Riedel, you got him. I'll cross my fingers. I'm still hoping to sign Jadeveon Clowney. I seriously doubt it. Like I said, it's probably a pipe dream. But whoo! So, this draft, when they have it, because they better have it, there's a ton of offensive players there. Wide receivers, a lot of them. Offensive linemen, there's a ton of them. So, I said earlier that I think the Bengals are going to move out of the 33rd pick. I've kind of changed my mind now with all the guys they've signed. They've filled a lot of holes on defense. Now, offense, I still like to get an offensive lineman. Hopefully, maybe we get that in the second round because Burrow's in the first. Maybe get a very good offensive lineman in the second round. You still can get wide receivers in the 3rd and 4th round. There's still going to be good ones. It's, like I said yesterday, they have a plan. I love it that they have a plan. It's refreshing the Bengals have a plan. So they're putting all their money in defense throughout free agency, and they're going to draft offense. At least that's the way it looks. But, Now, this is another interesting stat about Bell. I couldn't help myself. I had to write this one down. Bell himself last year had an NFL best 5 fumble recoveries. That's as many as the Bengals had all of last year, the entire team. So, that's an upgrade right there. Everything the Bengals have done, they have upgraded their positions. I mean, everyone they signed, it's an upgrade. It's better than what they had, and that's all you can ask for. Now, to me, this puts the pressure on Lou Amaretto and Zach and the coaching staff going, all right, guys, I'm giving you players now. You've had a year to figure it out. It's time to go. Now, do I think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs? Yeah, I want to say yes. Through my heart, yes. I want to say yes, they'll make the playoffs and yes, to go to the Super Bowl. But my head, probably not. But you never know, because the problem is we're in such a difficult division. Now, I know everybody's like, Big Ben's coming back. He's come back from injury. What is he, 38, 39? I mean, Big Ben doesn't move like he used to. It still doesn't mean he's not a good quarterback, and it still doesn't mean that he can't destroy the Bengals. Those are all possibilities. But I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers, so I hope he has a terrible year. Just saying, that's not a given that he's going to come back healthy and play as good as he did before. But you got the Cleveland Browns, and they've made a lot of moves, but they made a lot of moves last year. It all depends if their new coach can coach and if Baker Mayfield can get his head out of his ass. But I really do think the Bengals still go through the draft, but the way it's looking, they have put themselves in position to somewhat be in this thing. You know, as long as Joe Burrow is what we all think he is, and he can adapt himself to the NFL game quickly, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. Especially moving forward, like 2021, 2022, you know, those years. We might be really rolling them. Okay. Now, I talk about this on here a lot. I have different Facebook groups that I like to run. Like I said, since we can't go anywhere, and we all want to celebrate Reds opening day, which we can't because there is one. By the way, they are going to show Reds opening day from last year on Fox Sports Ohio. I think at 1 o'clock. But anyway, I got some Facebook groups that we can discuss what I was talking about. Discuss whatever you want. I'm always on there. I love having factual discussions. Anyway, the Facebook groups are Reds Country, Bengals Nation, and Bearcat Country. Go to those Facebook groups, check them out. If you want to be added, I'll usually let everybody in. As long as you don't look like a... Well, never mind. I usually let everybody in. Okay. Now, you guys have been unbelievable. I cannot believe... I keep saying this every show, but you guys are just awesome. I had over 500 views on yesterday's show. I was hoping to get over, or at least get to 200 subscribers by the end of the week. I blew past it yesterday. I have 211 subscribers. You guys are awesome. That's great. So like I say before and in the past, if you're getting this YouTube link on a Facebook page, you know, Bengals Nation, Bearcat Country, or Red Country, or on Sports with Strawberry Ice, my Facebook page, go to YouTube, get an account, and subscribe to my show. I really appreciate it. Let's get to 300 as fast as we can. That would be awesome. And as always, the podcast, if you're on Apple Podcast, give me a 5-star review. All the other podcasts, just make sure you subscribe so my show always pops up and you don't have to go look for it. Well, that's just sports, baby. Like, subscribe, share. You guys have a wonderful day. Let's enjoy what would have been Reds opening day. Wear our Red stuff. Tweet it out. Let's try to have some fun with it. Very, very soon, baseball will be back. Tell all your friends about me. See ya.